Hey, it's Mascara. Welcome back to my channel, because, you know, chaos. And today I haven't got quite a full face of new stuff, but I've got a pile of stuff that's new, stuff that I kind of want to play with for a bit, and I just want to have a bit of fun really, so stay tuned. If you haven't liked, subscribed and all that jazz, please do, because it does me a favour. Really help my channel grow and all of that stuff. So I'm just going to shove this on my face and see where we go. So my sponge is lovely and wet. It is a Juno Co one. It's just so soft and squidgy. So for primer, I'm going to be using the Ordinary Hylaronic Acid 2% and Vitamin B5. So I'm going to get a bit of this. It's apparently really moisturising. So I'm just going to shove a bit on my face and ignore the motorbikes going past my house. And I'm just going to rub this in because I get really dry skin on my forehead and stuff. And I just want a tacky base really, and I didn't want to use the same primers I normally do because I own 3 primers. It's more of a skincare thing, but I thought I could use it for my face. Okay, it looks alright. So I'm using the Huda Beauty, what is this called? FauxFilter foundation. So you really need so little. So I'm going to put literally the tiniest bit on. Probably equates to about a pump. And I'm going to blend this in with my sponge because this stuff is full coverage. I've got a mirror over here, which is why I'm looking over here. As you can tell, it's covered up pretty much everything from not much being on there. So I'm going to put a little bit more on, just around my cheeks and stuff under my nose, just to make sure it's all covered up. I always forget how full coverage this is. Then I'm going to use my concealer, which is my normal e.l.f. Camo concealer, because I love this to death. I'll really need to replace it at some point, but I also can't be bothered. I'm not going to do an order just for this. I probably put way too much of this on. But you know, oh well. I think it's safe to say that everything is pretty much hidden on my face, because it's all been phased out. But I'm also going to use a bit of the Huda Tantour in Fair. It looks like this. I've used this a couple of times. It looks like this in the middle, well, inside. I'm just going to use a bit of my brush. I literally use the tiniest amount. I literally tap it in once and blend it into my foundation. Probably took a little bit too much there, but I can always hide it with a bit more foundation. I'm going to powder using my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Micro Finishing Loose Powder. This one, it's just the translucent one. I'm going to go in under my eyes to make sure all of my lovely creases are gone. Then get my tapered powder brush, this one. It does go into your lungs so badly. And most impressively, there still is a little bit of sheen to my skin from that, probably the primer and the foundation. Just a bit, it's not much, but it's something. So next is powder, contour and all that jazz, and for that I have the Shade and Light palette by KVD. I know it says Kat Von D on it, but I did buy it a while back before Kat Von D gave it up. I'm not all about the anti-vaxxing, I'm all for vaxxing. I'm going to take a combination of this shade and this shade, the two lighter ones, on my little taper brush. So there is a little bit of kickback or fallout, whatever you want to call it, in the pan, but I think that's acceptable considering how little you need to use of it. And for blush, I have the lovely Kiko Green Me blush in 101 Coral View, if I can even get into it. And that looks like this. It comes with a little mirror, you can see my little lamp. You don't have to use very much of this because it is quite pigmented, especially if you're as pale as I am. Literally one tap. And that's all you need, like that. Now, if you've been here before, you know that I normally use brow gel, but my brow gel has run out. So I'm going to be using the ABH Dipbrow gel in Taupe, which is the same shade I use the Dipbrow pomade. let's see what this brush is like, because I haven't used this before. Okay, it's a bit of a bigger brush than before on my removal, but it's also pigmented brow gel. Need to remember to do this before I do my base next time, because I've just made a mess. Then I'm going to use my Dipbrow in Taupe again to go through and to fill it all in, because I like doing the gel first, just so then I've got the kind of guide of the shape, which I really should have thought about before and actually brush them through. But I'm not that smart sometimes. But I've got to say, that's really stuck my brows down. Thank you, Nia, for the recommendation. Because everybody's got their own personal beauty. I'm going to go with Fiend. And mine just happened to be Hannah, Nia, and Megan. Not Shopaholic Meg, who I did the collab with on Tuesday, but a different Megan, who I used to work with, who is currently on maternity leave. Okay, so these are some quite big eyebrows today, but I'm not mad. But I am going to go in with some brow pencil just to try and neaten it all up. But those brows definitely ain't going anywhere. Give you that. You know what, when this is all over, I may not go back to having my brows done by a pro, because I'm digging the massive eyebrow look. I don't know why, I'm just loving having my big old hairy brows back to haunt everybody. Because they were pretty big back in school. I never actually had them plucked down, which saved my life in some ways. Next I'm going on to eyeshadow, which is something new. This is the Juvias Place eyeshadow palette. It's called The Violets by Juvias. And it looks like this. So it's got 2 mattes, which are down here, and then 4 shimmers. And if anybody knows me, you know this is right up my street. It's purple. So I'm going to clear off my little table, because I've got stuff everywhere. So I'm going to go in with this violet colour, Lavender Violet. They do smell a bit funky, I'll give you that. So just going to tap this into, don't know how pigmented this is going to be. And I'm going to wiggle that through my crease. Kind of load my brush up. It takes a little bit for that lighter one to build up, but it is a very pale purple. It's more of a lavendery colour. I think these colours also work better on a tacky base, but I ain't got time to tack my base up right now. There we go. Really loaded that up. I got through the top layer, which I think was a bit pressed a little bit hard, but it keeps it in the pan. I'm just going to wing that out because I can. Then I'm going to go in with that darker colour right here. It's also a matte. I'm going to go in with that gently. I'm just going to tap that on the outer corner. Okay, so I'm going to get a clean brush. I'm going to use... Are you clean? I think you're clean. I'm going to use this brush, which is a Spectrum B09. It's a dual-ended thing. I'm going to go over the edges just to diffuse them a bit, because I'm a bit heavy, especially on this eye. And there's a little bit of fallout in the pan. I'm hoping you can kind of see it in there, down here. But there's none on my face so far, which I think bodes pretty well. So now I use that same brush again. I'm going to use a little bit more of a mixture of the 2 colours. I'm just going to try and even up my eyes and then go over the edges again to diffuse them. Then I'm going to use the flat end of the same B09 and I'm going to get a bit of that lighter purple and run that along my lower lash line. Then I'm going to use a little bit of that darker one just to kind of bring it all together. Now I'm going to swatch these shimmers because they look stunning. I mean, they are beautiful. That's what they look like. I mean, they are some of the nicest purples I've seen in a while. So, I don't know which one to go in with. I'm going to use this one here, the more pinky tone one. I'm gonna just run that across my lid with my finger. That is actually like a foiled effect on my lid. That is absolutely stunning. I mean, it's just so pretty. It's just beautiful. Wow. Now I'm gonna get my little pencil brush if I can find it. This one here. And I'm gonna go in with this little lilac-y shade in the corner. I'm gonna use this on my inner corner. Because, I mean, how can I not? I don't know why, but this makes me feel like a fairy. I just feel pretty in purple. So I'm going to use my Renaissance Flick eyeliner by Revolution. I'm going to move all the brushes off my thing. I'm trying to get a nice thin line. Trying and failing miserably, apparently. Now, for mascara. I bought two new ones. I have the Revolution, the Mascara Revolution, and Misslyn, the Black Joker all-in-one mascara. And I haven't actually got the plastic off either of these yet. How do I get the plastic off either of them? That is a very good question. So I know this one's pretty good because I've had it before, just mine ran out. I'm going to go in with the Misslyn one first and see what this is like, because I haven't heard anything about this. Okay. It's not really doing very much, but it feels quite dry. It's just kind of, the brush is just kind of clinging to my lashes. It's doing a bit more on this side, but it's just not doing very much. It's kind of a bit, there we go. It's kind of, it needs a couple of coats or re-dipping, but I'm gonna go in with the other one because I'm pretty sure this one works a lot better. This is the Mascara Revolution, the original mascara by Revolution, and that is so much product on there. Yeah, that's so much better with that one. Now I think it's time for highlighter, and for that I'm using the Rady by Makeup Obsession. It's got the sunlight on one side and the moonlight on the other. So the moonlight side looks like this, and the sunlight looks like this, and you've got a lovely mirror in this one as well. So I'm gonna go for Fairy Lights, which is this one just here. I'm just gonna go for a swirl in this, and I forgot how good these highlighters were. They just kind of, because I've got so many highlighters, they just kind of end up in the back of my cupboard because they're a little bit more bulky than like the singles. Now with a little bit of the Dancing Elves, which is this purple as well, just to bring everything a bit more together. Oh, that's so pretty. I really like it. I'm gonna get that little pencil brush I was using earlier, if I can even find it now. Use a bit of that Dancing Elves colour on my brow bone. I mean, that's in daylight. It's beautiful. Now for lipstick, I'm going to use Jeffree Star's Velour liquid lipstick in Birthday Suit, which is quite a bit paler than the one I normally use, which is Celebrity Skin. It's also quite a bit pinker. So this is a finished look. I almost always go with setting spray with these. I use the Makeup Radiant Lasting Mist by Rude Cosmetics. I really love this. But yes, this is a finished look. I hope you like it. If you do, give it a big thumbs up. Greatly appreciated. Subscribe, all that jazz. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for another video. Bye!